Good morning, folks. Another beautiful day, hot day down here in Texas. Uh, we back, man, with another episode. We got our guy on here, our special guest, Virginia legend. You know what I'm saying? Paul Crowley. Look, you're like, nah.
No, we'll see how that is.
No, we got Paul Crowley, man, the head coach, Christopher Newport University. Y'all know Steve over there. You know what I'm saying? With stuff. Appreciate you coming on this morning, Paul, taking time out your day.
No, glad to be on. Glad to talk some sports with y'all.
For sure.
Oh yeah. Let's do it.
So background, hell, I know Paul since middle school. Played football together until he got better and I got ghost, and he just took off from there. Went to Christopher Newport, right? Was your 4-year starter with them?
2.5.
Started captain. I know you became a captain up there. Then started your coaching journey. So talk us through your kind of the process you went from you playing and then taking that step to be like, yo, I want to go ahead and be a coach.
Yeah, I mean, just more generally speaking, like I don't think people realize early on in your coaching career, it's a grind and you're not making a lot of money. So, it was something I knew I 100% wanted to do. So basically, my career ended in a playoff game up in Pennsylvania. Then, the next day that week, I was in the office saying, hey, coach, what can I do? How can I get on as a coach? How can I help you? And he, chill. But I knew I wanted to get going. So that spring, as I was graduating, I went to work just doing, menial tasks for the football program. And then, eventually he brought me on to do the tight ends the next year, probably made $500, sleeping on my little brother's floor. He was going to school. So that's usually how it is for most guys getting in this profession. You're not making any money and, you got to be willing to do the dirty work. And then, I was fortunate. I had played for the head coach and, he thought I was doing a pretty good job. So he brought me on full time and progressed to coaching all kinds of different positions, getting away from, I had played O-line and coaching wide receivers and all that different stuff. And then really just career took off from there.
Nice. So when did you get to that point to where you were like, yo, I can really do this? Like to where it became like a real thing, like to where it's not a struggle. It's like, yo, I can do this. I'm good.
It was probably a little younger in my career than a lot of people. I don't know, 23, 24. He named me the recruiting coordinator when I was 22 or 23, and then brought me on full time where you start getting benefits and all that stuff. But I pretty much knew it was what I wanted to do and was going to sacrifice as long as I had to. I think you really got to have that mentality because you don't know when your break's going to happen. So, you got to put off a lot of different things. You got to put off, relationships, kids, all that stuff at a young age because financially you're just not going to be able to do it. So, if you're willing to give those things up and just grind, like I said, good things can happen. And then, I realized I was pretty good at it. As a player, I was fairly physically talented, but I wasn't the most talented guy, but I felt like I was the smartest. So, I had limitations on what I could do as a player just based off athleticism and all that stuff, but I didn't feel like I had any limitations as a coach. So that, keeps you hungry.
For sure.
Coach, is football the only sport you ever coached?
Only sport I ever coached. Yeah, I grew up playing them all. That's something we look for in recruits is kids that grew up playing baseball, basketball, all that stuff. But yeah, football is all I've ever coached.
Okay. And what position did you play yourself, Coach, when you did play?
I played center my whole career, so I know I don't quite look like it anymore.
Hey, listen, I was about to say.
Yeah, I played at about 250, 260. I'm closer to 195 now. So.
Okay, so you're in the trenches. All right, so if you had to give me, let's say, just your top four, just in no random order, just your top four offensive linemen all time, who would you say is on your list?
All time. Well, the default answer, everyone would say Anthony Munoz back in the day, but I'm not even he played for the Bengals, but I didn't watch him play, right? Like that's going back a long time. I mean, Orlando Pace when I was young was obviously different than a lot of guys. Steve Hutchinson was a really good guard, and there's a bunch of them nowadays that are pretty damn good. Quentin, the guy for the Colts, Quentin Nelson, he's a damn good player, and he's probably my favorite to watch now, just from a physicality standpoint. Trent Williams has been a good one for a long time. I'm I'm a Commanders fan, unfortunately. So he was criminally underrated early in his career, and now he's in
I
that
agree.
offense. He's getting the looks. Those are some of the guys that off the top of my
Okay.
head.
I got you. And if you had to say your playing style or even your coaching style, are there any coaches that you look up to and kind of try to take something from their coaching style to add to yours?
Yeah, I mean, so kind of in my coaching career, I've been under some good ones. So Chris Beatty, who was our high school coach in Landstown, he's the receivers coach with the Chargers now, and
mad scientist, dog.
Smart as all get out. And when I was young, and looking up to him as a high schooler, he was young and he was authentically himself. Every coach I'd had as a young coach was a yeller and a screamer. I kind of thought that's how football had to be, and I knew that wasn't my personality necessarily. And Beatty showed me you can be yourself. The kids will buy in and take off in your career from there. So I think I learned the most from him. I mean, I look up to guys in the NFL, Tomlin, all those guys, obviously, but the way they do it's always going to be different than the way I do it, just because we're different people. At the end of the day.
So when you starting off being a recruiting coordinator, right, is a grind in itself. Just form those relationships. How do you think that helped you to where you are now as a head coach? Like being able to know, recruiting at such a young age. Like, how did you do it? Really?
Initially, my pitch, and I wasn't the most outgoing person, was to talk to the kids, at the same level, because I just got done playing, right? Hey, I was in your shoes 5-6 years ago, trying to make a decision on college. Here's why I went to CNU. And particularly with local kids, here in the 757, where it's a really talented area, I think that resonated some. So I think that's the biggest thing. And then just, I was fortunate, and the high school we went to, where I grew up around a lot of different cultures, a lot of different kind of people. So I think, being able to communicate, effectively with rich kids, poor kids, country kids, city kids, helps. So that's, I think, been beneficial to me, and I'm glad I grew up where I did.
Oh yeah, for sure. So how do you tap in? We had Devon Wiggins, when he was on the show, we had him a few weeks ago, and he's up there coaching with Coach Jack at Landstown now. And it's like, you're at Christopher Newport, and you have the name, and you have the aura of the, I was on Landstown High School state champion. You got that whole story. How does that help bridge the gap with the recruiting? You going to a place to say hey, I played here, this is my coach, or even going to recruit at a school like Landstown if you were to go.
Yeah, I mean, it helps me a ton, and I recruit Hampton Roads, particularly Southampton Roads, and for that reason, I can go into Indy High School, and usually there's going to be a connection one way or another with somebody. Somebody's brother played on the Landstown team, or somebody knows Coach Jack from back in the day, and that that little connection of knowing the same people goes a long way. And recruiting is a relationship business, and you want to be somebody that they trust sending their kids to, and hopefully most of the local coaches think highly enough to do that with me. And then we get a lot of good information from people I trust. There's certain high schools I can go into. I've been recruiting John White at Bayside High School down the road for 15 years. So, when he tells me something, I don't even have to watch the film. I'll take his word for it on a kid. So those guys know the kids better than anybody else. So when you have good relationships with those guys, you're getting the real information and can evaluate the kids better.
Nice. Steve, you got a question?
Yeah. So, Coach, when you're looking at a kid, or when you're looking at recruiting a kid and you don't have that relationship, what's kind of the first thing you go to? Is it the kid in the conversation you have? Is it you looking at the tape to make sure the kid even, fits exactly what you're doing? What do you, when you don't have that relationship, or you don't have anyone to lean on, and you're looking for a kid in a certain position, what's the first thing?
Yeah, the first thing we'll do is watch all their film. With Huddle, everything's available to watch, and get a baseline on the kid, and that's always going to be the basis of your evaluation. But then all the other stuff comes into play once you get into the high school. So anything from what people in the school, the front desk administrator says about the kid, that matters. And then, there's some coaches, like I said, you trust more than others. So if it's your first time meeting a coach, you can usually tell who's pretty good at their job and who isn't. So the ones you feel like are doing a good job, you'll take their word a little more seriously. And then you sit down, have a conversation with the kid, and those little things that I'm sure their parents talk about, looking them in the eye, do they have good questions? All that stuff comes into play. You get the transcripts, and with all that, you get a holistic picture of kind of who the kid is, and then make your evaluations then. And a big one for us is how much do they love football? I love hearing guys that have played football since they were 5 years old and have played sports and can't imagine doing anything else, because college football is hard, particularly at the Division III level. So you better love what you're doing, or it ain't going to last. And we feel like if we have a good team full of guys that love playing football, that'll be our edge. So that's the biggest thing we try to determine, but it's easier said than done. They can lie to you on that stuff too.
That's true. That's true. Because you talked about how hard it is to play Division III football. What are you guys' expectations as a program this season, going into this season?
To compete for championships, we try to do that every year. This last year was my first year as the head coach. We just missed out on it. So that's what our expectation is for our kids. And I think sometimes people get a preconceived notion about Division III football, but I've coached at the Division I level too. From a time commitment standpoint, from expectations of the coaching staff, all that stuff, it's really not any different. And we're fortunate to have really good facilities and really good game day atmosphere too. So there's not a lot of difference. So, sometimes people hear D3 and think one thing, but I've coached against NFL kids at the D3 level. So it's not, the discrepancy is not as big as some people think it is.
Man. So from a coaching perspective, what is something that I think the normal people or fans like us, we either take for granted or don't realize like how difficult it really is for a coach? Because, us armchair GMs and coaches, we could sit back and be like, oh, why didn't you call this or do that? Or why this player? But from a head coach, like, like how good or bad is it, or can it be?
I'll say I think it's like this in life. The more you learn about something, the more you realize that you don't know a lot, and particularly in football, there's so many variables, right? You got 22 guys having to do the correct thing every single play. And there's so much game planning that goes into it. Even me, as this is my profession, I can't watch an NFL game and always definitively say why something did or didn't work. There could be a million different reasons that are unbeknownst to the normal viewer. And particularly at the college level, when you're dealing with 18 to 22-year-olds, I mean, a kid can have a bad game because his girl broke up with him the night before and he's distraught about it, right? That's a formative time in their life. So trying to get consistency out of those guys, it's easier said than done, because they're human beings too, right? I think at times we just see them as, video game characters out there playing football, but they're human beings that are affected by those things too. So I'd say that's the biggest thing you can lose sight of when you're just, watching from the stands at times.
Nice. Steve, you got the one?
Nah, I ain't have no more.
So I have a question, right? And I don't know how close you know him yet, because I don't think he's gotten to campus yet, or maybe just got there. But we had a kid on our show, Sean Sanders from Kempsville. Mm-hmm. We had him before the season started last year. Good kid, loved his story. I reached out to him. I got in touch with him through Duke at Kempsville, so ties. And he wound up committing to Christopher Newport. So I was like, yo, that's crazy. Like, you being there. So did you get a chance to see his tape or to meet him and, to really vibe with the kid?
Yeah. I was recruiting Kempsville. So basically how that process goes, you go by in the spring and you try to talk to kids and get a feel for them. I liked Sean's film initially. Then meeting him in person, I'm sure it came through on the podcast too, but he's got some personality to him. He's got, he's got some maturity to him. So I liked all that. We got him to campus for a visit over the summer, a junior day visit. And, our campus is really nice. So I think getting him up here opened some eyes. And then at that point, you just try to recruit the kids really hard. And it's, not about being phony with it, but just show your genuine interest. So we got him back for a game, got him back for the official visit, all that stuff. And I think he had some D2 stuff going, but, I think the ability to stay close to home and, make his mark on a program that has some history to it was a big deal for him. So, we're excited to have him and see what kind of shape he is when he comes to camp here in, I guess, 2 months or so.
Yeah. So did you guys recruit him on the offensive side or defensive side?
Defensive side, that's an area we're trying to improve. Our size on the defensive line since I took over, and obviously he has that. No question there.
Tell him, you're a big boy.
For sure. So where do you see yourself, man? Like, career-wise, just, you're young, you know what I'm saying? We're around the same age. So, you think 40s, 50s, just coaching? Is the NFL like your ultimate like level where you want to go, or you just like really love like where you are in these positions where you can really make a big impact?
I'll say this. I think having been now in the profession 15 years or whatever it's been, there's two kind of coaches. So there's coaches that are always looking at the next job, and I've worked with some of them where it could be game 6 of the year and they're listening to, hey, this place might fire people. I wonder if I can get in there, and always looking for that next career move. And then there's, I think, coaches that have their feet firmly entrenched where they're at and trying to make that a better place. So then, hopefully with winning, you get opportunities and move on. And I've always kind of been the latter. And I've hired coaches specifically that are the latter, that want to be in a place to build a culture and sustain success over a time. Does that mean I'll stay here forever? I don't know. You never know what's going to happen in this business. I've been part of coaches retiring, coaches being fired, a lot of different things. So stuff happens in this business, but I'm at a really, really good university with really, really good people and the opportunity to win. So I've learned that the grass isn't always greener. There's a lot of good things we got going on here. So, it would have to be something pretty special to make me leave my alma mater.
Man, that's dope, man. That's dope. Well, look, man, I definitely appreciate you coming on, man. Definitely gonna keep.
Hold on.
Coach,
let's talk about the command. Let's talk about the Commanders. I ain't having any more career questions. We got to talk about Washington, though. We got to talk about the Commanders. Coach, what do you think about the new ownership, the selling of the team that's about to happen, the new ownership coming in? Them talking about the Commanders name is not going to stick because I guess they don't have the rights to it or something like that. How do you feel about what's going on right now currently with the state of the Washington Commanders?
I know they've every fan has wanted to get rid of Daniel Snyder for a long time, so I would say it's got to be better. And the dude seems to have done a pretty good job with the Sixers and what they got going on. That maybe they didn't have quite the year they wanted with the Sixers, but it'll be better. At least they won't be the punching bag, the joke at the NFL anymore, hopefully. But it's been a long, tortured fanship. My dad used to show me those Super Bowls on VHS when I was a kid, and I don't remember. That's about the extent of our playoff success. So it's got to get better, I would assume.
Gotcha. And your quarterback right now, I like Sam Howell. I've liked Sam Howell since he was in high school. I know Florida State missed on them, and it changed the trajectory of their program when he went to UNC. Do you believe in Sam Howell, or do you think that you guys still need a quarterback?
I think they're doing the right thing and giving him the opportunity. So some buddies I've worked with were at UNC back when he was there, and everything you heard about him as a competitor, as a work ethic, all of that stuff checked a lot of boxes. The NFL is a really tough league, so who knows if he'll be good enough. And a lot of things got to break your way, but it sounds like he's got the makeup you want. So I don't think it hurts anything to see what he can do as a young guy and not on a big contract.
Gotcha. And realistic expectations for your Commanders this year. Second place, maybe.
That league, that division is a new champion every year, right? And that's a stat. Like every year, it's been a new team winning the league.
Yeah.
The division, but they can win it if everything breaks right. They could go 5-12 or whatever it is nowadays if everything doesn't break right. But when you can play defense and run the ball, you have a chance to be in a lot of football games. So you never know how injuries and all that stuff break. So they could do it, but they could also be terrible. I think that's kind of the nature of the NFL. The margins are so small. You never really know.
That's true. And that's true. And the thing is that may be why the NFL, when you get those 6 or 17 games now, they get so much viewership. It's like every week you kind of really don't know what's going to happen. Eventually after week 8 or 10, you know the good teams and the bad teams. But I think the parity in the NFL is unmatched in any other sport. So.
Yeah, that's there's a bigger conversation probably, but that's becoming more and more the case in college football, right? Where I see y'all got the Georgia thing in the background of your screen, but it's the haves and the have-nots at that level. Which if you're a fan of one of those teams, it's great, but maybe for the overall fan of college football, it's not so great. Man.
That's true. I did get tired of watching Saban run off championships, but now that I'm in that position, it's okay.
Yeah. I don't think anything's going to change at Georgia for a while. They got it rolling.
KB says different with the Gator flag.
Hey, look, man. All I say is we back to where we competing. I just want to compete. Let's take baby steps. Compete. Be consistent.
You lost to Vanderbilt and you lost to Kentucky.
We ain't gonna get this started.
You had that NIL deal go bad with the quarterback too. I know that was great.
Man. Yeah, man. There's a lot of optics stuff. It's just like, God.
Coach, what about NIL? Coach, what's your thoughts on NIL from where you sit and the perspective that you have on it, being there in the field with it? What is your perspective on NIL, Coach?
It doesn't affect us as much. And honestly, even the FBS programs, I don't think it has too much of a sway. I think you start losing. Say you're at an FBS school, you're at William and Mary where I worked, and you have a kid that's a really good football player. A kid I coached while I was there just got drafted by the Lions this year. But you spend a lot of time recruiting and developing that kid, and then a big time program, on their 4th and 5th year comes in and swoops them. That's a tough pill to swallow. For us though, I mean, our kids got a Bojangles one. They get a $50 gift card a month from Bojangles. That's about the extent of it.
That would have been perfect. Thinking to myself in college, $50 a month at Bojangles.
Man, that joint lasts the whole month, man. Crazy.
Yeah, they did it for our quarterback. He's a pretty good player. And then he said, not unless all the old linemen get it too. So they were pretty appreciative of that.
Dope. Man, that's dope. That's dope. That's how you keep your quarterback clean right there. Smart kid, smart guy.
No question.
Feed your O-line. Well, look, man, we ain't gonna hold you all day, man. But again, appreciate you coming on. Hopefully probably get you on again at a later time, maybe towards the end of the season. You guys talk about your championship run and all that, or maybe the Commanders, pinch somebody this year. Who knows? But yeah, man. So tell people where they can follow you, get in touch with you, things like that.
Yeah, my Twitter's, that's usually the easiest way. It's at Coach P Crowley with the O. We were talking about pre.
Hey, they gonna go like the comments.
Yeah, that's the easiest way, and we feel like we got a really good product down here. So for people from the 757, just come check us out. Come see what we have to offer. I know, even when I was coming out of high school, I thought one thing in Newport News, and you come up here and see our campus and see what we got going. It's pretty special.
Yeah, man. Make sure y'all tap in. Make sure y'all follow the team. Support the guy, hometown guy, Paul Crowley. I call him a 757. A high school legend. Because I mean, look, you play baseball, you play football, you won championships. Somebody got to pat you on your back. You know what I'm saying?
You got a baseball team you like, Coach?
Red Sox, but I don't follow it like I used to. Now I am a Celtics fan. I know y'all about to talk some basketball.
We are. What do you think about that trade? What do you think about Porzingis going to the Celtics?
Marcus Smart was my favorite player. I just love the way that dude played. But
yeah,
they needed to do something. I don't know if this was it, but they needed to do it.
Yeah, getting rid of Marcus Smart. I'm like, anybody else? But I mean, hey, hopefully Chris App can be who we thought he was going to be back when he was with the Knicks. Because my boy been kind of missing lately.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, we're gonna talk some basketball, man. Again, I appreciate you coming on, man, for sure.
I appreciate you guys. Yep, have a good one.
All right, man. So we here, my boy.
I hate to tell Coach he pronouncing his last name wrong, but it's Crow. There's no A in my name, in his name.
Crow. Yeah, man. Shout out to y'all being related. No,
shout out to
Paul, man. Like I said, go back to middle school playing football with Paul. It was funny because in high school, right, I was like not the tall guy, but everybody is like.
You were the tall guy at one point in your life?
I've been like 5'7", 5'8" for the longest, bro. I just didn't get my birthday, bro. So in like elementary and like middle school, high school, everybody like 5'2".
Yeah.
Paul left, I think 10th grade. No, 9th grade. Left. We was all, around here. Came back. My man was like, meh. I said, oh. He looked like a real varsity football player now. I was like, when am I going to start? I was like, no. All right.
Crazy.
My day is limited, but shout out to Paul, man. He always been the guy that's always looking at recruiting, the playbook, always whiz, man, when it came to just school and sports, man. So shout out to him. Shout out for Divine for checking in, D Wiggs. But yeah, man, let's get into since we talking about football before we get to basketball.
All right, what's going to
Your boy Antonio Brown.
Yeah, bro. What's going on with AB? Tell me what's going on.
He's being sued by his coaching staff and players for, I guess, not being paid because he's the owner of the Albany, the Arena Football League, Arena Football Team.
Yeah.
I mean, at this point, man, the legacy of Antonio Brown gotta be like, did you even remember that he was a good football player at this point? It's like
no. And he's gonna be so mad when that 5 years time come up and they don't put him in the Hall of Fame. He's gonna be so hurt. He's gonna be so mad. They're gonna take Julio over him. He's gonna be so hurt, bro.
Yeah, I can see it.
He'll get in, or it won't. It may not be first ballot, may not even be second. But if T.O. had to wait, oh, AB, you definitely gonna have to wait.
T.O. had to wait, and he number 3.
And we're gonna talk about that later. We're gonna have the top because everybody already knows the top 3 wide receivers. You got Randy Moss, Jerry Rice, Terrell Owens. But that number 4 spot on the top wide receiver list, it's been some real different answers. So we'll talk about that a little bit later on in the show. But AB, man, Antonio Brown, has he ruined his legacy, tarnished his legacy? Yes. Like at this point, there's nothing ever positive coming from this brother. It's nothing. Bro. You'll never see anything associated with him, a headline that says AB does something good. And it may just be because people just put the bad out there. But if there's too much bad coming out back to back. It's like, bro, come on, man. How you was on the field or wouldn't get off the field or something last 6 months ago with the same football team? There was an issue. You, the owner, the man was telling you to get off the field, and you was like, no, what if I don't, whatever. And now we got something else coming up. You said, these guys said they ain't getting paid. But where the money going, AB?
I don't know, man. Antonio Brown, man, it's a shame. It's like ever since the hit. I mean, the CT people blame it on CTE and jokes.
That Vance Burfict, what was his name? Lance Burfict.
Perfect, man. That hit. It seemed like since then, man, it's just been what the hell, bro? Like, and you hate to see it, man, because it's like, God, dog, boy, AB was that guy. Like, and the crazy part is he can still play, but it's the everything that comes with it.
Yeah, nobody want to deal with it.
You hate to see it, man. And like you said, the conversation 3-4 years from now, hopefully people will take the numbers for what it is. But like you say, T.O. had to wait, man. Antonio Brown, he may not ever get in.
Tell me.
He what? Two Super Bowls?
He got one with Brady though.
Yeah. Yeah, man. I don't know, man. But what's next, bro? What we got next?
Well, we talking about wide receivers. We talking about, like you said, Antonio Brown getting in. And so the other day we was in a group chat talking about the greatest wide receivers of all time. Now, like I said, the top 3, no matter what order you want to put them in, you got Jerry, Randy, T.O. That was pretty consistent. But that 4th slot, a lot of people throwing out a lot of different names for that 4th spot. And then you go to thinking about that the 4th greatest wide receiver of all time that ever played. Now, okay, I didn't see your boy from Seattle. What's his name? He on everybody's list.
Yeah,
I can't think of his name. Do I think he can outplay Julio Jones? No.
Yeah, man. Like I'm not. I'm gonna be a victim of recency
bias.
Moment.
Yeah, exactly. But at the same time, look at the wide receivers now compared to them just physically. We're not even talking about everybody's Michael Irvin size now. Everybody's Michael Irvin size. Everybody's running Randy Moss speed. So I'm not going to say I'm being a prisoner of the moment. I'm just telling you what it is. That person he's not Lance. I can't remember his name. I'm trying to look it up, but Lance, whatever his name is not better than Julio Jones. He's not better than Justin Jefferson. Come on, man. Cartwright. Might be Cartwright. Somebody, whatever. Somebody gonna throw it up.
Yeah, man. Somebody get it right. Kelvin to tell us that we're wrong.
Exactly. But bro, that dude is not like, yeah. So now, bro, who is your 4 all time? Who do you have on that list right after the Randy Moss, the Jerry Rice, and the Terrell Owens?
Man, you know, it's hard because you have a player like Megatron, right? Who on this hand physically was more dominant than I think anybody at wide receiver. He literally can do, but he was a victim of being on the Lions and cut his career extremely short by choice. Then you have somebody like Larry Fitz, who did everything right, played long. So it's like with Larry, they're both like right here to me. But I kind of got to give it to Larry Fitz, man, after thinking about it, because one, longevity, like you can't knock a guy for being in the league long. Like it is what it is.
And performing. It wasn't like he was just sitting here as a backup quarterback for 20 years. Right. No. Larry Fitz led the league in catches. He led the league in touchdowns. He actually had a better package than Julio. You know, at first I was like, oh, Julio, right? But no, I had to go back and look, and I said, no, Larry Fitz got the touchdowns that Julio don't have.
Yeah, so, he got the touchdown. He had the route running. He could run past you at a time. Even when he was extremely slow, he still would create separation. I think he has more tackles than drops. Like it's stuff like that. You be like, yo, and he didn't do it. He wasn't a rah-rah guy, and I think that's why people kind of forget him or don't put him up there, because he wasn't like, you know, jumping over everybody. He just did it the right way consistently over time, man. So I have to give it to Larry Fitz, man, because there wasn't a catch that he couldn't make. Now, when it's all said and done, you know, when you bring in
Jefferson, you got Chase Young. It's a lot of young cats. It's a lot of young guys right now getting busy, man, who project to have careers that are going to be well up there in this passing league that we're in. So,
and exactly, it's going to be the numbers versus the thing. But unlike you said, those guys you just named, like if you told me I had to pick between Justin Jefferson and Jamar Chase, give me Justin Jefferson. Give me Justin Jefferson, dog. Jay Jettas. If I had to pick between the two, I think he's a better route runner than Chase is. I think Chase is
put like this. More. If you put Justin Jefferson on the Bengals, he probably damn near stop. But because he have Kirk Cousins, who sometimes want to be playing, you know what I mean? Because he got Kirk sometimes, that's the only reason that I saw something I should have
saved it. I think we too hard on Kirk Cousins.
I don't say we hard on Cousins, but we want Cousins to win the big game. He like Mark Richt. He's very consistent and very good at what he does, but he could not win the big game. He won't win when it counts.
They said, so what would you rank Justin? Where would you rank Justin Herbert in NFLs? Would you say he's top 10 quarterback?
Ooh. You know, my first name, we got Pat. 15? We got Pat. Yeah, top 15. He's in the top half. Yes.
What about Cousins?
He's in the top half. I take Cousins over a lot of other ones. But I'm just saying. Now, if it's a Sunday night or Thursday night game or Monday night, hell no. Hell no.
Would you take Cousins over Herbert?
That's a tough one. No. And I confidently say no. Even though he probably got a better winning percentage, probably had better numbers.
Yes.
Just in the moment, though. I'm not taking Kirk. Justin's not going to throw that interception that you're going to be like, what the hell? I remember vividly getting up early at 9 a.m. to watch Kirk Cousins play in London. And you watching some of these throws, you like, Kirk, what the hell? Like, you threw it right to the defender, like, Kirk, what the hell? I literally said that. Like, what the hell?
For the last 3 years, my man had 100% passer rating, 34 picks, 100 touchdowns.
You don't get but 1 or 2 primetime games a year, so I can believe throughout Mark Richt, very consistent.
I just think people have to, me included. When I saw this, I was like,
Numbers can lie. I know we always say numbers don't lie, KB, but goddamn it, numbers can lie. Because listen, Kurt is not winning the big. That's the problem. We've seen him get to the playoff one and done too many times. Sunday night game, big game in Washington, he go out there and blow it. Like, come on, man. We've seen Monday night. Please don't play Kurt on a Monday night game. Then Minnesota get beat like 40-something-7 on a Monday night or 40-17. Like come on, man. Yeah. If it's not prime, if it's a regular 1 o'clock Sunday, give me Kurt. Even a 4 o'clock Sunday, give me Kurt. But if it's 9 a.m. or 8 p.m., no sir.
Who's your top 4? Who's your 4th wide receiver? Don't say nobody stupid. Like AJ Green or something.
Hey, you said it for me.
AJ Green?
AJ is number 4 to me. AJ, Julio, they right there. But AJ got more touchdowns. Well, what you frowning up for? AJ finna go. He's going first ballot. You know that, right? You about to have another dog go first ballot.
Oh. AJ Green?
He's going first, and he's the ultimate non-diva wide receiver. He's going first ballot.
No, that's not true because you got guys like Reggie Wayne, Marvin Harrison.
You see how they went the first time?
They didn't.
They went first ballot. Well, AJ will be second ballot. He'll be second. Yeah, AJ will be second.
Reggie. Maybe Reggie.
I thought Reggie was the first.
But Marvin Harrison didn't. Marvin Harrison didn't.
I thought Peyton Manning got both of them boys in there because T.O. was mad because both of them got in first. And Randy got in first. I thought that's why T.O. was bad. We got to look that up. We got to come do our research. But I thought that's why T.O. I thought that was the brunt of T.O.'s argument. How can you put in 2 guys that Peyton Manning made first ballot and make me wait? I thought that's what his whole argument was. Because you can't argue with Randy being first ballot. You can't argue with Jerry being first ballot. But I think T.O. was upset because Marvin got in on the first ballot after shooting. After he is he still on trial for that shooting?
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, we'll move on from that. But
no, man. He wasn't the first ballot Hall of Famer. I know I wasn't tripping.
Reggie, neither one of
them. Nope. It's a list of first ballot Hall of Famers: Joe Thomas, Darrell Revis, Charles Woodson, Peyton Manning, Calvin Johnson. Tony, Ed Reed, Troy Polamalu, Tony Gonzalez, Champ, Ray.
Who you said? Hold on, you said Champ?
Champ, yes. Randy Moss, LaDainian Thompson, Jason Taylor.
Okay, Randy got in.
Yeah, you're down to now we're down to 2014.
Jason Taylor, I don't know about first ballot.
Marshall Faulk.
Yes, sir. Marshall Faulk, to me, the greatest running back of all time. I just think Emmitt Smith got that record, and everybody's gonna say that. But if we, again, you know what I always say: if we standing outside KB and we get a pickup game, and me and you captain, I'm taking Marshall Faulk before I take Smith. He's fast.
Absolutely. So it's crazy. I'm looking at this thing they have. It's called a legend score. Okay. And a legend score is the more points you have, is like the highest. That's how they rank. And the highest legend score is Peyton Manning with 125. That's crazy. And the second,
I can believe that.
Let me see. I see a 91.
They call him the greatest regular season quarterback of all time. If Brady didn't have 7 championships, he would be.
Reggie White, 98.
Yes,
Jerry
sir.
Rice, 104.
Yep. Jerry was always the greatest wide receiver of all time.
It's crazy to see how they actually. You may have to break that down one day. How they calculate all stuff. They actually have a calculation of how you get points and all that. But yeah, man. So shout out to the wide receivers, top 4s, man. That's that list. That's tough, boy.
Listen, number 4. The top 3 are set. Good. But that last Mount Rushmore spot, I wish Julio had a few more touchdowns. He'd be in there. No, hands down. Because he has the most 300-yard games by any wide receiver.
That one season when he scored 2 touchdowns or 1 touchdown.
Man, come on, bro. Come on, Julio. Really, Julio. And you had Matt Ryan, so ain't no excuse. They like you had no bum at. He was
at the time.
He was a bum.
At the time, he wasn't bumming.
Right. So
But yeah,
let's
man,
talk about these young fellas from last night, bro. I wish I had got some stuff together, man. I've been trying to get my life together for these kids to come back next week. So been trying to live my last few days as a what you call it, a married 35-year-old with no kids. Basically.
Yeah.
I would have had some of these guys' outfits from last night, bro. The outfits for this draft last night were hands down
Oh
the
my
most
God.
creative
Oh
and
my.
ugliest outfits I've
That
ever
is, it
seen
is
in my
to
life.
a point
Woo,
to where they're going to put a. I'd rather there be a dress code for the NBA draft than for the players during the season.
Let me see if we can find. Hold
This
on, bro. Let me see if we can find some of this
disgusting.
stuff, bro. I want to find some of these, bro. It was some horrendous
It
outfits
was
last
disgusting.
night.
Did you see that
bro.
boy, Dickie? What's his
Oh man, don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. We finna get us kicked off. Don't do that. You
What's
don't
his
do
name?
that. We can move on. Move on. Move on. Move on. Move on, bro. I don't want to talk. I know that his name is Grady Dick. That was his name. The
Brady, man.
yeah, man.
Bro, that man.
His outfit was
nuts.
atrocious. Somebody else had another outfit too, man. That was you just like, bro, really? That what y'all doing?
Bro, these guys look absolutely crazy.
Oh, boy had on the it had like bedazzled like on both sides, like a Spider-Man web on both sides. Yeah, man. The NBA draft last night, man. Some of these outfits were probably some of the most creative and unthought out outfits I've ever seen in my life. So,
yeah, bro.
But for the draft itself, bro, the winners and losers, to me, it ain't but one winner. If you didn't win the sweepstakes to get the number one pick to get Victor, you lost. I'm just being honest. If you didn't get Victor in this draft, man, you really kind of lost.
I don't know, man.
Well, I can't say that because I like what Chicago did. I mean, not Chicago. I like what Charlotte did with taking your boy second from Alabama, Brandon.
Look, man, I can pull it up, man. We can see the worst and the best and the worst.
Oh man, we got the fits.
You know what I'm saying?
We got the fits on him.
Interesting outfit at last night's NBA draft goes to number 13 pick Grady Dick, who talked about goals and priorities.
You hyped to become boys with Drake overnight? It's gonna happen.
Of course, that's the goal. I need to wear my jersey. That's how I know that's my priority.
He could have said improving.
Hit the sound button over there. KB, hit the sound.
Drake. Runner-up has to go to third pick Scoot Henderson, who clearly looked at Paolo Bank.
Oh no, I mean, oh that's all. Oh, it's playing on your other. No, hit the. You don't have a mute on that window. Then we can't hear you, my boy. Yeah, Trae Young. Yeah, no, Trae, that was pretty bad too. With Trae Young having the damn shout pad breeches on, as I call it. You can't wear no shorts. Come on, man, like shorts and the suit. That doesn't work. But yeah.
My bad. That boy outfit was absolutely disgusting, man. But as far as the players, of course, you had the where's he from? Australia? Greek?
Who's talking about Victor?
Yeah.
French?
He French.
I think yeah.
Then you had Brandon Miller, who did everything he could to not be drafted to the Hornets. Get drafted to the Hornets. He was doing.
I think it's a good fit though, man. I think him playing beside Lonzo Ball was a good look.
Yeah, but that
man. And you got Bridges.
Nah,
I don't think he wanted.
That man was like, Michael Jordan's trash. I hate Charlotte. It stinks. He was like, LaMelo's trash. I could never see myself playing in Charlotte. Number 2 pick. They ain't fall for it. Scoot, hey man.
I like Scoot. I thought Scoot should have went second. I wouldn't have been mad if they took Scoot. I wouldn't have been mad if they took Scoot at 2.
I get it because Brandon Miller's a better shooter than Scoot. And I think if you put Scoot, if they're able to keep Dame, right? If they keep Dame.
Hell no. They ain't playing Miami music. Welcome to Miami.
Miami. If they're somehow able, he doesn't work out with Scoot, and he like, yeah, you know what? He might be what's my man Edwards, from Minnesota. He might be he might be Ja. You know what I'm saying? As far as on a court, as far as what he can do. Then you bring in a a big man. You know what I'm saying? You bring him another guy with a trade or free agency or something like that. Now you could entice him probably to stay because he has an electric guy. Because now the edge is open for you because Scoot going to drive and he going to jump through everybody. Or they trade Dame and restart the team around
Scoot. Yeah, Scoot and get Tyler Hero from Miami. Go on. Only thing about these teams when they trade for these big guys, just like we've seen with the Suns, we'll talk about that in a minute. The Suns trade and KD get this super team together. You don't have a bench. And we just seen that in Brooklyn where the three of them are so tired, bro, from carrying the team night for night, you get injured. Somebody gets hurt. KD hurt himself by himself in the warm-up line doing layups. So do I even trust that this jump will happen? Bradley Beal played 52 games in the last 2 seasons. So do I even think that this is going to work? No. Because from an injury standpoint,
it's the Nets of the East.
It's the Nets, the Nets of the West. You know what I mean? KD, in order for you to win in the playoffs, you're going to have to play you got to win 16 games within what? Like a 20-something game, 25 day period? Like, come on, bro. KD ain't going to do that. Kawhi will never be able to play in the playoffs again effectively. He can't play back to back.
That's crazy.
So you get guys like that, bro.
One of the most overrated people I think ever. But
yeah, he did. When he came out with that King of LA whole campaign and the New Balance shoe campaign.
He ain't been right since he did LeBron and them dirty. He ain't been right.
Exactly. Now imagine he would have went to LA.
Ooh. Well, I think he would have been all right because he wouldn't have had to be the guy.
Exactly. Now he's talking about trading Paul George and blowing that team up, which I think they should. Because again, you can't.
I mean, Paul George still give you some consistency, but outside of that, you going off names of what people use.
You get too many lower extremity issues. It's lower extremity.
Yeah, man. These guys look. I'm 35, 36. So, I mean, the hell, man. These guys was older than me. So, I mean, like, come on now. Like, it's just the name.
I think this KD last hoorah.
You said KD?
Yeah.
Yeah, he ain't going to go out like LeBron. But KD, he's still a top 10 player of all time.
Just think about these trades that them popped off. A lot of trades in the NBA.
So, that's one thing. I pulled up the trade because I wanted to be sure.
Marcus Smart and Ja Morant. You got two of the biggest N-words ever in Memphis.
Right. So Wizards. Well, the one trade I got is the Wizards. So they traded Bradley Beal, Kristaps Porzingis, Jordan Goodwin, Isaiah Todd, and number 57 pick. Jordan Poole to Washington. Tyus, Danilo Gallinari's gone. And it looks like they got some of Golden State's picks from 30. Then they got 4 first-round swaps with Phoenix, 24, 26. Boy, they just was swapping everything.
Yeah, but they didn't get nothing unprotected. So none of those picks are going to be in the top 5. That's the crazy part. Like they got a lot back, but not like. Think about this: Rudy Gobert got 5 first-round picks unprotected for Rudy Gobert. Unprotected. That means that those trades, if they get the number 1 pick, they get to keep it. Like, that's crazy, bro. And for the Washington to get basically nothing back for Bradley Beal, that's tough. I don't say nothing, but that's tough. Jordan Poole will lead league in scoring, but they're going to probably have 12 wins.
Yeah, all they did was they're just the same team they were with Bradley Beal. Like, they didn't improve. They didn't do anything. Hopefully he can try to bring Kuzma back, but Kuzma might go to the Suns. He might be like, yo, I'm gonna go back over there. So yeah, man, I think that trade was bad for Washington. As far as what was the trade?
Marcus Smart going to Memphis and then Porzingis going to the Celtics.
Boston needs.
They need a big man, but is he the big man that they need?
I'll trust Al Horford more than I trust.
Thank you. That's what I'm gonna say. you could have kept Al Horford to do that job, bro.
But it's like it's all off the hope that maybe them two, because if you're Boston, I'm building a team to play against Miami and Denver. And the Suns. Like those are the three teams that I have to beat to be a champion. And I have the two. You plan on keeping Tatum and Brown, so you have somebody that can go against. You know what I'm saying? The Miami's backcourt, front court. Then you have the West. Hopefully, Porzingis' length. You can do something with Joker. You know what I'm saying? Or maybe both him and Horford can double team him, and you know what I'm saying. As far as like one hit him low, one hit him high,
Listen, bro, Porzingis. I don't know how if AD couldn't do it, that would be the person that I would pick to stop Joker. AD would be, if I had like the perfect person who I had to pick to stop Joker, it would be AD. And AD couldn't do it. So I can't think of nobody else out there who's as big enough and athletic enough to do it.
Yeah, man. I don't know. I think it's gonna
Embiid, maybe Embiid. I don't think Embiid can stop Joker.
I mean, he got the cojones to, but it would be a good matchup. That would be like on some Shaq, Olajuwon type. You know what I'm saying? Big man battle. But yeah, man. Marcus Smart going to Minnesota. It's like
Memphis. Yeah, he going to Memphis.
Memphis. My bad. Memphis. I guess he replaces what they're missing with Dylan Brooks. Now that he's leaving.
Yeah.
Like
he's better than Dylan Brooks.
Yeah, I mean,
at least he can score. He's not a liability on the offensive side.
It's probably not that bad. Like I said, regular season, Memphis was killing everybody. So maybe that's enough to kind of take him over. He won't be the third option.
Maybe he can help Josh put that damn gun down.
Or tell him how to hold it, or tell him where to keep it. One or the other. But yeah, man, the trades weren't that many blockbusters. I mean, Poole, everybody knows it was either going to be him or Draymond. Which one were they keeping?
Yeah, right. Because you can't let those
weren't keeping both. Draymond even alluded to it, like it wasn't the same after that video, after that punch.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure when you punch me in my face, it ain't gonna ever be the same time I get my lick back. And then once I get my lick back, you won't want you another lick. So it just ain't gonna never work.
That's a classic story of the hood. But yeah, man. I'm not mad at them for picking Draymond because Draymond is the leader. He's the heartbeat. He's the heart. He's the physical. He's that guy that, you know what I'm saying? You kind of need your enforcer. Like everybody can't be pretty running around shooting threes. You need somebody that's going to check your chin, going to kick you, step on you. You know what I'm saying? Like Draymond has that attitude.
Well, he stepped on him, man. I can't believe it.
It's that, and you keep Draymond from LA. I mean, it's not a guarantee that Draymond's going to resign, but he would be stupid not to if he wants to win. If he just wants to vibe with his guys, and yeah, he can go to LA. But if he wants to win,
I think the possibility of playing with LeBron may be too much to turn down, bro. You don't get to play with King James. The man finna retire.
Right, so, you get 1 year with him. And hell, Draymond got about 2 or 3 himself. So yeah, man. It's gonna be interesting to see how free agency falls out. What happens with Dame? Does he go to Miami? Does he not? If he does go to Miami, what does he go for? Man, that trade, it's a lot that can happen with these next couple of weeks, man, that I'm definitely interested in. I'm like, all right, NBA, y'all got my attention. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I might watch a game next year.
Yeah.
I might, maybe not.
Yeah.
But for the draft, man, I'm interested to see what Victor does. Hope he doesn't get injured because
I'll be getting played in the summer league. I hope they let him play in the summer league. Yeah, Chet versus Victor next year will be a good matchup too.
But I think, Chet got a little bigger. He put a little muscle on.
Yeah, but now I don't like what Victor said though. I don't like that comment he came out with. It was like, get lean. Everybody needs to get lean. He's like, fuck up. All right, okay, KG.
All right, boy. somebody put that shoulder.
Wait, the Embiid get that. Wait, the first time Embiid get that time, you know what I'm saying? Oh,
when Giannis come down and put an elbow on his forehead, put that knee in his chest, and stand over him and flex, I'm like, oh God, you ain't see that. You ain't see Giannis coming through that driving from half court. And you like, yo, he's not about to stop.
2 steps. 2 steps. He at the basket.
He's not going to stop. Like, you either going to take this charge and risk your life, or you're going to get out the way. I like Amen Thompson with the Rockets. That gives them a nice shooter. They got a nice little young squad. The Pistons too.
Oh, I like that dude the Hawks picked up Kobe from Michigan. I didn't realize which one it was, but yeah, the Michigan has a few dudes that can ball, man. So yeah, highly interested to see. I think they got an overseas player too. So you never know what them guys can turn into. They could be Giannis or they could be Porzingis. You never know. So
right. But yeah, after that, man, after the first few picks and just a few names.
This would be a draft. We'd get a second round person to pop out like Joker. You know what I mean? Everybody overlooked.
You know what I'm saying? Castleton from Florida. He's with the Lakers. He signed with them, 2-way deal. He's a nice
G League player.
You know when Taylor Harnsborough.
Heineke? Oh, you know. Oh, I know you're talking about. I know you're talking about Hansborough.
Yeah, Hansborough. Like when he came out, he's like Hansborough, like college. You know, all great, everything.
Yeah, he played 1 year in the NBA.
Did he?
Maybe with Indiana, he might have played 1 or 2.
Yeah, he played a few.
Well,
but he wasn't. I mean, he wasn't college. But you know, so hopefully Castleton gets in there. He's a center. He can score, and all that. And hopefully, he does well. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, that's it. I can't think of nobody else, man. Nobody else in this thing really.
Yeah. Oh man, tell the people the updated recruiting rankings. Where y'all at?
Oh man, I wasn't even going to do it, but yeah, man. So Florida is ranked number 3, 24/7 composite. Ranked number 2 on 3. We had 9 guys commit in a 7-day, 5-day. It was 5
What Billy down there selling? They think the football season ain't started yet. That's all.
No, what it is the guys that we're getting now, right, were the guys that we were in the run for last year, as far as caliber of guys. But we just it was like you said, it was the NIL. Everybody was still learning. The strategy wasn't full on how we're going to spend, who we're going to spend on. Then we didn't have Heatner wasn't in there telling all our business to Miami. So it was a lot of things that happened last year. With the boosters that were just how are we going to do this money? We don't want to pay or this person's not, you know what I'm saying? How the money was spent. The money was never the issue. It was just how it was spent. And I think now they have a thing, especially after last year, you're losing people in the middle of the night. You lost really Rashada the middle of the night. You lost Fletcher, running back from Ohio State, in the middle of the night. You lost Samson Akola, middle of the night, last minute deal. Even Cormani, middle of the night. Were Monday night at 10 o'clock were Gators, and then midnight struck, phone call made. Now they're in Miami. So those guys, we're getting those guys now. Those calls that are being made aren't being answered. Guys are shutting down their recruitment in June.
It's still early. And then that can be dangerous now. That can be dangerous when they do that too now, KB. You know that.
We thought about, but you go back to last year, right? We thought that too. Remember, we were guys were coming in early last year, and we were like, oh, they're going to stay. The NILs are going to flip. Majority of guys who committed in the summer stay. The majority, your class really, it doesn't fall apart. Your class really locks down. And I mean, you might get one at the end of the day, but usually you kind of know who's on the edge. That kid that keeps taking visits, that kid that keeps taking phone calls. The one that's I committed, but I'm still, my recruitment's still kind of open. And those type of kids, those are the ones that flip. But for the most part, your class is usually, when the season starts up, those kids that's in there are usually committed, especially the ones that shut down their commitment, shut down their visits and stuff like that. So I'm not surprised that Billy's doing it, because we knew that Billy could recruit. When you look at what he did at Bama, what he did hell at UL.
Yeah,
But the thing is, with
gotta win on that field though, Billy. You can't let
hey
Baby
man,
give you another L.
shout out to Bateman. Bateman is the second rated recruit behind the guy. Yeah, he's ranked the second ranked recruiter behind
It's early.
somebody at UGA.
It's Jim. Don't worry about it. Number one recruiter in the nation ain't on that team yet. He's trying to be. That's that defensive end that everybody fighting for. Well, y'all.
No. Not the commit, the recruiter, like the guy that's getting these.
Oh, the recruiter. Oh,
yeah.
Are you talking about behind what's the running back, Clinton?
Yeah, I think it's him. I think it's him. But yeah, man, we got two in the top. You got two in the top 10, so that's different than before. And we have like 3 of the top 5 linebackers in the nation. We last year we were losing guys like when you guys got the top 3 linebackers last year. We were just trying to get a visit from one. But now I like the way it's looking. We got a couple 5 stars. The class is shaping up good. Hopefully we get Jared Gibson. Hopefully he stays. He alluded to wanting to stay home. And this is between, I think it was like
Athens ain't that boy.
It ain't in Georgia. He's talking about staying in Florida because Texas signed another 4-star high rated running back, and they just got one last year with Cedric Baxter. So I don't know if he's gonna go there and be just the 3rd guy. So it's still early, man. We get number 1's not an option. I think it's just too far out.
Yeah, we like 40 points above y'all. You closer to the 12th to number 12 than you are to number 1, and you at 3.
Yeah.
So that's wild.
Yeah. So but I think we finished top 5. I don't think we finished at like 3.
Oh, no.
Because our class isn't going to be. We're not taking like 30. I think we're taking like 25. I think they said like 25 was like the number. And I know we're going to take like this 3-star lineman he's ranked 3 stars, but it's like between us, Bama, and like Michigan. Like he's one of those 3 stars that's like doesn't camp like that. So he's ranked 3 stars, but everybody wants him. We got one like that, and it's like a couple kids are like 4 stars that we just really like them. So Billy, I know they're not playing the win the recruiting title game as far as like we're only taking 5 stars, but I think they're going to take guys that fit and that are good. So like I said, I think we'll finish top 5. On 3, we'll probably finish top 3, top 4. But who cares about on 3 unless we're at the top. But 24/7 composite, man, I think we'll especially if we have a solid year, man. If we have a solid year, top 3, top 5, and that's where you need to be.
We'll see.
If you have a top, just being consistent with the top. You don't need of course you want the number 1 class, but when you have a top 5 class consistency, that's how you do it. You may not need to be number 1, but you be number 3, be number 2, number 4. So you know what I'm saying? We're just year 2, getting in there, man. And these kids like what Billy's selling. Taking them to Dave and Buster's, man. You know what I'm saying? Picking kids up in the Maybach. And
give them a pizza, and they all right. Like ice spice.
Hey, they whatever they selling, they like it there more than they like it in Coral Gables and Tyler Pissy. You know what I'm saying?
I don't do Florida State like that. But that's it for us, man. You gotta get up out of here, man.
Yeah. Gotta get my daughter ready for her first party tomorrow.
Okay, man, what's up?
Yeah, man. Somebody's birthday party from school.
Yeah.
So they're going to like roller skating, which I'm like, you on your own?
No, throw the skates on too, Papa Bell. Yes, sir.
I ain't ruin her party by going to hospital. Is that then it's a skating party, then it's a pool party, and that's it. So she gotta get a little bathing suit and all that. I'm just like,
they're chilling, man. The wife going out with some of her homegirls during the day. They'll be out for somebody's birthday pretty much all day long. So I'm about to go to the car wash and post up for a minute. And they'll be in the streets of Atlanta, but they'll be riding around Atlanta and get me riding around Atlanta.
The days.
Man, you gotta enjoy it while you can. Well, kids will be back next Friday, so
yeah. Then next, what I got this next week? Oh, this week, yeah, no, next week I'm cool. The week after next, going to New York. You know what I'm saying?
New York.
Going to Drake. This weekend I'm going to see Dave Chappelle. You know what I'm
That's
saying?
right.
Man, City. So yeah, we outside too. We getting outside a little bit. You know what I'm
That
saying?
was
We
good,
get free, but
Yeah,
we get free. So
there you go. You can walk around the
First
subway.
date.
You're gonna be walking around all New York.
boy, you got my wife messed up, boy. We about to be Uber
No,
Gold
sir.
Platinum before we leave.
Nope. You ain't
I
even gonna
know.
want to do it. You ain't gonna want to do it. She ain't gonna want to do it. It take too long. Take too long for them to get there. You'll be quicker by jumping on the subway that's right here by the
Oh, I
street.
know. Oh, believe me. This is going to New York. This is every. So I'm going to New York my whole life. Like my family.
Oh, okay.
from New York. So
Oh, okay.
yeah, this ain't nothing for me. It's for her.
She'll
So,
see.
Yeah, she'll see. I told the train. She was like, "No, we'll catch an Uber." I'm like, that first Uber ride, $80, and I'm like,
But
"Nah,
you
baby,
just sit
can't
in
go
traffic.
there.
Yep. What?
Nah, baby, let's catch this train.
Real
$4,
quick. Walk down
10
the steps.
minutes.
If
Yeah,
you're gonna be there, you might well buy your pass. Just 3-4 days. You can get on, get off. That way y'all can go see the whole city, bro. Makes sense. You can go down to Coney Island and all that, bro. We had a good time being my wife.
Well, we'll probably we may do Coney Island.
I mean, if you ain't never been, if she's never been,
she ain't never, so she don't even know what she.
oh yeah, man, take her all that, man. Go see y'all.
We'll probably do Coney Island like during the day. I've been there at night.
I went by myself at like 11 o'clock. So
I could do that. You can go by yourself if you had that mindset. I mean,
yeah.
Wait, Coney Island isn't like you walking out there. It ain't like the Warriors.
No. It wasn't that bad, bro. Didn't nobody bother. But I can see how it could be. You know,
go to Coney Island, you find if you leave Coney Island and start walking around,
you'll be in trouble. I got you. Yeah, I was walking through Brooklyn, bro. You know, I like so when I go places, I'll be like, okay, let me see their hood. Let me see what they
I'm
talking.
the same way.
So Brooklyn, I was like, bro, this too nice to be hood. I'm sorry, it really is. Like y'all got nice buildings, but
What part was you at?
I had just jumped off the train, and when you walk and turn that block and you hit that corner, trash everywhere. It's just dirty, trash.
The last time I was in Brooklyn, I was 21, and I felt
Living
like
in the car, parked on the side of the street.
Man, me and my cousin was in Brooklyn and Brownsville. It was like 2 a.m. You know what I'm saying? He was dropping off one of his little friends. And we walked through a courtyard and I said, I can't see him, but they can see us. Somebody is following us, dog. We got to go. And we booked it to the train. I was like, bruh, I don't see them, but I can hear. I know. It's like, you know. It's like, you know when something ain't.
You feel it?
I was like, nah, but he's just like, yeah. I was like, nah, like this, the breeze is blowing a little too. I was like, something ain't right, my boy. We got to get up out of here.
Something's in the air.
We ain't got nothing but hopes and dreams right here.
Nah, but let's get the hell on.
Yeah, but we're gonna be in gentrified Brooklyn. We're gonna go to probably go to the Locks, the juice bar. Probably go to they got a pizza spot, like they have like oxtail pizza and all this crazy stuff. Go to Junior's, get her cheesecake, go to Times Square, you know, stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, go to Coney Island at noon, go get a Frank, you know what I'm saying, and win a teddy bear or something like that. You know, touristy shit. That's the goal.
That was the deal, man. But let me get ready to get up out of here, man. Go ahead, man. Take us out. Take us home.
Man, y'all know what it is. Like, follow, comment, subscribe, all that good jazz. Y'all see the handles under the names. Follow your boys, man. We out of here.
Peace.